never know.
It's been antiqued.
It was inspired by a specific Monarch.
Yeah.
It looks like this. So all this antiquing is even meant to match that specific instrument.
Yeah.
They're awesome to play. This shoulder rest is fitted to my shoulder.
Hey, that's nice. That's great.
Have you seen these?
I've never seen one of those. No.
They're made by Parastra, but basically there's a lot on their marketing pitch. The wood, the longer you play, the more it forces to your shoulders. It's especially more comfortable. Yes,
That's great.
but if you wanted to try your, but and actually, since we're
just to introduce themselves briefly and give you an idea of what they'll be doing in their class. Remind you that we've got levels 1 through 4 in most categories, but not all. And so what you're going to be listening for, aside from just the entertainment value, which is huge, we're also going to be give you a sense of how your instructors up here play and do their things. Then after you've joined a session this morning, if you decide that you're either in over your head because you chose the wrong level, or you're not going to feel well served for the week and you need to go up a level, you can do that in the second session. So we give you a movement period in the second session where you can adjust your level. All right? So for now, just enjoy. We're going to play around. You'll probably hear us have an echo in the timing here, because that's why Isaac is our timekeeper back there, because across this huge expanse, there's just enough space here for the sound wave to go. So, anyway, who wants to start with one? Maddie in the movie, you got one? Got a good. We do the straight stuff here, no jam busters. So. And old standards are perfectly fine. But
Whiskey quart record.
whiskey,
Yes.
yeah.
Orange Blossom Special of Swing Fiddle Tunes. How about Lady Be Good?
All right.
Gee. It just registered on me that people are trying to tune down there. How about if I shut up?
Just man.
Nobody expects more playing anyway, right? Where was I? Okay. Oh, sweet and lovely, lady be good. Oh, lady be good to me. I'm all alone and lost in the woods. Oh, lady be good to me. I'm all alone in this great big city. Lady, won't you please take pity on me? Oh, sweet and lovely, lady be good. Oh, lady be good to Gil. everybody.
Yeah, really. That's killer. Good singing. Thank you. Yeah, good everything.
Natalie says that's gonna be the main tune for the clawhammer.
Oh, yeah.
Man, this week.
Get ready. It's
Oh, yeah, favorite old country.
It's in the new book, Natalie.
No, you're fine.
It's in the book that I gave. Yeah.
I know, you're right.
Yeah.
We gotta know
You
it.
got. Yeah.
But you gotta do it cross too.
Okay. Are we doing it out of cross F or G?
Watch actually pick the tune that we did.
Why don't you do something? What's a fun little old-time tune?
As in straight old time tune.
Okay.
Not double crooked.
Oh, come on.
You like them cross-eyed tunes. Moonshine's gonna be the next big currency.
Are you in G?
Time being Sayota.
Yeah.
stepping two.
Yeah.
It's got both chords. First one's G. I'm not telling you the next one. A flat minor. All right. This keeps getting better.
That's not a kickoff, that's
Yeah. It starts every minute. One, two, three. Don't think that I'll be hanging around while you're having fun. No, I won't sit there crying over you. Well, from now on, you go out, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll lock the door and put out the cat, and I'll go step into. Well, I'll go step into my honey, I'll go step into. I'll lock the door and put out the cat, and I'll go step into. Just run the other way. Well, every time you come in late, we begin to fight. You tell me there are more fish in the sea. Well, it ain't what it used to be, and I got news for you. Well, from now on, you go out, I'll go step into. Well, I'll go step into my honey, I'll go step into. I'll lock the door and put out the cat, and I'll go step into. Well, from now on, you come in, won't tell me where you've been. Well, your hair messed up and your clothes don't fit you right. Don't start to yell if you find lipstick on me too. For you will know that I've been out stepping just like you. Yeah, I'll go stepping into my honey, I'll go stepping too. I'll lock the door and put out the cat, and I'll go step into
welcome back to Montana Fiddle Camp. How many people are newcomers here? Cool, that's great. I'll talk to you later. Is this thing on? Check, check. Okay, I know. Good deal. Anyway, we're just glad to be back. Last year was a bummer for everybody, but our first week, really, people got into it, and the energy was there, and everything was fantastic. And you guys look like it's going to be the same kind of week. And we're just glad to have everyone here. He's the guy that kind of organized a lot of things around here during the week, and he's going to introduce these instructors, and they're going to get up and play a little bit of what they're going to be teaching. So let's make welcome Bill McKay.
The only other thing I want to say about general camp demeanor is I am a trash Nazi. Last week, I probably picked up 6 pieces of trash the whole week. Candy bar wrappers, lost coffee cups that are, the styrofoam ones. I utterly despise finding that stuff on the ground around here. So you guys are in competition. I think last week was the best week I've ever had in all the 23 years I've been coming to this camp. If I only have to pick up 6 candy bar wrappers all week, that's a pretty dang good week. Clean up after yourselves. Okay? That's all. The worst part is it ends up blowing into the pond, then we have a trash pond instead of a nice little trout pond. So pick it up. All right, that's my stern warning for the week. If I see you throw it down and walk away, it'll be different. I have a junior high track coach mode that I go into. You won't like it. All right, so we're going to just start at the top of the list. Remember, these are broken up into levels, so the teachers are prepared to teach at the level that they're designated. Level 4, we don't have the, sort of subjective names like advanced and beginner and total what? We don't have that level. So, you know what I'm talking about, yeah, okay. But we're going to go with, some of these are combined levels. You will notice that we do not have, in mandolin, we don't have a level 1. So we don't have beginning mandolin this week. So if you really don't even know yet how to play chords on a mandolin or tune it or play scale, a little scale or something, you're out of luck this week. You'll need to skip to some other instrument because we're going up to level 2. Those will be folks that can already play a few chords and maybe a few melodies, and they're ready to go further. So we also have a cello instructor this week. So there it is. And we have a clawhammer banjo right over here. So, all right, so we're going to start right at the top of the list and work down. Maddie Denton is going to be one of our level 4. Well, she is our only level 4 teacher this week. Come up here and tell them what you're going to do, Maddie.
Well, hey, everybody. My name's Maddie, and we're going to be doing a few different things. I couldn't really decide what exactly I wanted to teach, so we're going to teach a few different things. We'll do some bluegrass. That is what I mainly play is bluegrass, but I started out playing Texas contest style fiddle, so we might do some of that too. We might do some Western swing, talk about scales and how you incorporate, like knowing some different scales and turning that into how you make a nice solo. So we'll talk about improvisation. Probably won't teach tunes necessarily. We might, I don't know, I'm not a big, let's learn a tune at Fiddle Camp, and that's great, but that's not really my vibe. So we probably won't learn a bunch of tunes. We'll learn tricks and tips and how to make improvising easier. It's kind of tough to improvise, but a lot of times I find that students have this hump that they can't quite get over with, how do I go to the next level on improvising? And I've got a couple little tricks that might be helpful. So, and then bluegrass-wise, we'll learn to play in some different keys. I often find too that folks don't want to play in B because it's hard and scary. And I've got a few techniques and tricks that might be helpful, like a fiddle, the idea of a fiddle capo, that you can move around just like these guitar players and banjo players get to move their capo around, and it's not fair. So I've got maybe a couple of ideas on how to just get through that brain blockage of like, I can't play in B. Yes, you can. Last week we decided that we can do hard things. Right, Christina? Yeah. So we can play in different keys. So, and I'm gonna put my friend Nick on the spot. He didn't know. I was just sitting over here thinking, who can I torture? But I'm gonna get Nick up here because he's a great singer and mandolin playing friend of mine. Nick, do you know like $2 Bill in the key of B? Hey, come sing the chorus. Come on. So this might be something similar to what we might work on this week.
Just wanting beat in general, or
Yeah.
like Sunny Side of the Mountain or something like that, or
Just sing the chorus because we don't want to stay up here all day and play for you. So
lost all my money, but
yeah.
yeah.
And I'll kick it and then sing the chorus and then I'll end it. Yeah.
Sounds good.
1, 2, 3.
Lost all my money but a $2 bill. $2 bill, boys, a $2 bill. Lost all my money but a $2 bill. And I'm on my long journey home.
Yeah. Thanks, Nick. Yeah. Random stuff this week. Thank you.
Thank you, Maddie. Now, I do want to mention that for Thursday night is the student concert, and all of the instructors will work you up on a couple of tunes, a tune or two, for the night concert on Thursday night. But that's not what you spend the whole week doing. Those are a specific subset of what you're going to be doing during the week, and the rest of it will be, as Maddie said, a lot of technique and tricks and new stuff and new challenges. The whole point to come to camp is to challenge yourself a little, try to push to the next level so you can go home and work on it for a year and come back next year. Show us what you did. Keep going. All right, Andrew Till, coming up from Nashville. Aaron, did I say Andrew? Well, I looked at Andrew and read, yeah, Heaton McGill's right under you, so sorry. All right, Aaron Till from Nashville, who knows what he's doing. Come on, man.
Well, I know what my name is anyway. Glad to be here. My name is Aaron Till. I am from Nashville, Tennessee, and I'm going to be focusing on the swing and jazz side of things. A lot of people, like a lot of you, will find yourself in a jam session situation. It'll probably be bluegrass or old time or whatever, but sometimes somebody will pull out a jazz tune, swing tune, like Lady Be Good or you know, any number of old swing and jazz from the 30s and 40s, because bluegrass musicians tend to also like that style of music. There's a lot of overlap, a lot of similarity between those two styles. And what I hope to do is to be able to remove some of the intimidation factor. That's whenever I would jam at the Station Inn on Sundays, and Station Inn is the big bluegrass bar in Nashville. They would have a Sunday jam, and if you pulled out, they'd be doing Bill Monroe and Flatt and Scruggs and all that, and if you pulled out a tune like Sweet Georgia Brown or Lady Be Good or something, about half the circle would put their instruments down and just sit it out, and so I hope to kind of remove some of the intimidation some people might feel about jumping in and jamming on some of that kind of stuff. I'll teach you the heads of a few jazz and swing tunes, so you'll feel a little more at home with it, a little better prepared, and also give you some ideas for some solos as well. And would you accompany me on something like I can't give you anything but love, or How about Sweet Georgia Brown? Everybody knows Sweet Georgia Brown. Let's, yeah, let's do it in F. There you go. So that's. Thank you. Thank you. That's the melody plus a little bit of improv, and I'll try to work with you and get you feeling a little more comfortable with that. If you're feeling like that's over your head, I promise you it's not. It's really no different from learning bluegrass or old time music. It's not any more difficult than those other styles of music, and I'll show you, a little bit more about that. So,
All right, thank you.
there you go.
You prefer to go Andrew? You go by Finn. Yeah. All right. See, that would have helped me not make that big mistake. That was. All right. Finn McGill. He got Andrew down here, but he actually goes by Finn. He's going to be teaching levels 2 and 3. So we got a. This is quite a lineup of fiddle instructors this week. So this is going to be pretty exciting. Finn, come up and tell them what you're going to do that's different from what they just did.
Okay. Hi, everyone. It's great to be back at Fiddle Camp. So I'm teaching the levels 2 and 3, and I view this as maybe an intermediate style class. And so I grew up playing traditional Irish music and old-time music and American music. So I thought it might be useful to learn some music from both of these traditions, so both Irish music and old-time music, and we might even take a tune that exists in both genres and talk about, how you could stylize it in different ways. So if we learn an Irish tune, we'll learn some of the Irish ornaments, or maybe Irish sensibilities, such as rolls and cuts and triplets, things like that. And with an old-time tune, we'll talk about things like pulse bowing and anticipating the beat, and double stopping, things like that. So, yeah, just come to class and we'll kind of see where everyone's at, and we can kind of take it at the pace you guys want. And if there's specific, we might even get into some more interesting stuff like some Brazilian music as well. I lived in Brazil for a few years, and so that's a big part of what I do now. So we might learn a Brazilian tune or two. So since I started with that intro, maybe I'll just play a tune that exists in both musical worlds. So here's a hornpipe called The Boys of Blue Hill. And then afterwards, I'll play the American counterpart, Twin Sisters. So here's the Irish version first. Thanks. So here's Twin Sisters. See you in class.
All right, well, those first three instructors are all new to camp this year, so it's fun to have some fresh talent running around. Good job, you guys. Well, you're not. You've been here before, though. Sorry. Those two. He's back. Another guy who's back is Jesse Maw. Come on up, Jesse. You've been teaching online for a while. Got a present down there.
It's great to be back. My name is Jesse, and I'm teaching level 3 fiddle. And I was thinking something we could do is I live in a region that's very historic for old-time fiddling. It's near Galax, Virginia. And so I thought something we could start out doing in my class is to learn a Galax, Virginia tune. And so I didn't have anything specific in mind. I thought we would have our class maybe as kind of a democracy. We could, so I'd give you some options and you could vote on whatever you wanted to learn. But here's something, an example of a tune we might learn. This one is Emmett Lundy's Ducks on the Mill Pond. Yeah. And then I had the idea that maybe in the class we would learn a tune all together, so something I don't know. And the tune I was thinking was maybe Art Stamper's Devil on a Stump, I believe it's called. And so yeah, that one I would play for you, but I don't know it yet. So I thought we would all learn it as a group, and then you could see what my process is for learning tunes by ear. And yeah, I'll do a variety of things so we can sort of, think about concepts. I would show you how to listen, and I'd show you tools for learning, because it's one thing to learn tunes and give you some content, but it's another to work on tools for the future, right? So we're going to focus a lot on that. And then also I'll try to add some fuel to the creativity. So we'll think about concepts that we can translate from our head into tunes, and then hopefully create some new sounds. So I'll go ahead and give you an example of that as well. So here's let me see, I'll try like Mississippi Sawyer, and then I'll play a chorus through that's normal, and then I'll play a chorus through with some creative ideas behind it. All right?
And we want to advocate for Jesse to sing while he fiddles at some point during the week, because he does great old-time tunes while he sings and fiddles at the same time, and it's pretty cool. And he manages to not put his bow in his mouth or anything. It's pretty slick. Our level 1 people, if you're a beginning fiddle player of any age, last week we had a fun mix of ages 4 to, how old was the adult?
5 to 66.
5 to 66. So you can be a beginner. You couldn't be in better hands. Louise Steinway, come on up here.
I'm really honored to be here. I'm thanks to Fred and Jeannie for having me teach this year. I've been teaching beginner fiddle for, I think, almost 20 years in group settings, so I still enjoy it. So my class is going to be serious fun. So the serious side is we're going to really get back to basics, focus on tone and timing, technique. That includes posture. It's really important to start out really well with the fundamentals, hone those skills so that you can stay up late and jam till 4 in the morning and not walk, all hunched over the next day, or, have issues, especially if you are the more adult beginner. It's really important to hold the violin properly so that you're not going to have injuries. And also, when you're a little kid starting out, you want to have good technique so that you can play for hours and hours and hours without getting tired. And that's the fun part of it. Once we establish our seriousness, then we have fun playing. So we're going to play through a couple of easy tunes, and last week we had a few little fiddle jams, which was really fun, and kind of expand your repertoire a little bit. What else? What was I going to say? Oh, I did grow up in British Columbia, Canada, so my first kind of grounding in fiddle music was in a lot of Canadian-style fiddle tunes, like jigs and reels and waltzes, two-steps, schottisches. But then I started playing Scottish music for Scottish country dances and teach Scottish country dances. So I'll probably do a workshop on Scottish tunes, and we'll have a wee session. But recently I've been playing a lot of more bluegrass in the last 10 years and getting into a lot of Kenny Baker tunes, so I'll probably play a couple of those at the concert tonight. Any Kenny Baker fans? Yeah, good stuff. Okay, and more recently, kind of because of COVID and being stuck at home with Isaac, I've been learning a lot more Western swing fiddle tunes. So, like, what else are you gonna do? I don't know. So here's a tune that I'm hoping we can learn. One of the tunes is called Deep Water. I'm drifting into deep water. If you want to play along in G.
Louise also hosts a particular contest. I'll let her tell you about. It's about as much fun as you can have with your clothes on. Camp Favorite is back. We had to import him back into the country, but we snuck him in. He's here. He's living. We hid him out up in Wisconsin now, so we may have him here for a while. That's good. Welcome back to camp, a camp favorite for many years, Mike Dowling on the guitar.
Great to be back. I really missed that lost year that we all had. So I think I lost 2 years all in all, but glad to be back. John and I will be teaching guitar classes, and he'll tell you about his class, and I can tell you a little bit about my class. But as sometimes happens, there's a lot of overlap between the class material that we do. Yeah. So I'm teaching the level 3 and 4, and John's teaching the level 1 and 2, and what we do is, I guess we're going to gather all the guitar pickers and divvy them up and kind of make a plan as we go along. And I'm going to be teaching some improvisation. Sometimes we get into the area of what do you play when the singer says, take it. right? So that's kind of a daunting thing. And one of the doorways into improvisation is being able to play the melody and just jazz up the melody a little bit. So we won't get too involved with scales and arpeggios, but we'll have some fun. There's no stressing allowed in my class, and we treat the guitar class like a guitar band. So we're all involved at our own levels anyway. So we'll do some troubleshooting and try to take your playing to the next level. And if all goes right, it'll be a higher level. But I've learned not to make any promises. Okay, so. Maybe we could team up on a tune. You play a little rhythm for me. I'll play a little, I'll embellish a melody. We'll, Corina, Corina, where'd you stay last night? Corina, Corina, where'd you stay last night? Came home this morning, sun shining bright. Just playing the melody in one place. A little nervous. Why don't you take one, John? Goodbye, Corina, honey, fare thee well. Goodbye, Corina, honey, fare thee well. When I return, girl, well, you never can tell. When I return, girl, well, you never can tell. All right, thanks, John. Thanks, everybody. I'll be doing some open tuning stuff and some workshops with slide or bottleneck guitars, so we'll go all over the place. So looking forward to meeting my gang. Okay, thanks, you guys.
All right, well, John Lowell got a little introduction there, but he's going to be teaching beginning and second level guitar. And I want to mention before I bring John up, this afternoon I'm going to do one workshop on jamming up here. And I want to distinguish, we're not going to jam, we're going to learn how to jam. And you're like, some people are like, there's a how to jam? Don't you just show up and play? No, that's just called a free-for-all. So yes, there are some structural things that you can learn about being a member of a jam session that makes you more compatible with everybody else in the group, and actually teaches you how to shift roles from support to playing lead and back to support. And there's all kinds of different support. If you'll think back a half an hour to when you saw all of these musicians, every single one of them perfectly capable of taking the full lead in a show, which you're going to see them do all week. But you also saw some of them sit out a tune or two, just to lay back because they knew they had nothing particular to add to that tune maybe, or maybe their instrument wasn't suited to that tune. And when they were playing, you could barely know they were there except the lead player knew they were there because they were getting support for what they were doing on the lead instrument. So yes, there is an art and a little bit of a science to that, and we'll talk about that in the jam thing. The other thing we're going to institute this year, we always have people who are songwriters or tune writers at camp, and they see all the lead folks up here all week taking the big mic here, doing their thing. And we'd like to give you a chance to do that, except not here. We're going to do it, well, you just never know. So we're going to, at some point, I'm going to pick out one of these. We got multiple tents set up this week since we've got people we're trying to avoid crowding people up in tight spaces. So we've got a lot of extra tents set up. I'm going to designate one of them as the coffee house tent. And we'll put a couple of chairs out there as a stage. And if you want to invite all your friends and neighbors to come listen to this song you wrote, invite them. We'll set up a time schedule or something, and we'll make it work so that you can put on a little show. And we'll probably restrict it so it doesn't get to be an ego trip for anybody. You get like 2 songs, and then 2 tunes or whatever, and out. But if we share the stage, I got this idea from Winfield, Kansas, actually. Back in the day when they had stage 1, 2, 3, and 4 with all different acts, there was also a stage 5. And stage 5 was a miniature Woodstock, basically. And at times, the crowd in front of the stage 5 was as big as the crowd in front of stage 1 because it was just fun. And eventually, they got a stage manager, and it got too coordinated. So they ended up with stage 6 further out in the woods. Because all the spontaneous people just didn't like all the scheduling and being bossed around. So they went out to stage 6 and started over. And it was far more spontaneous and fun. Anyway, we're going to try to emulate that a little bit. We'll see how it goes. But how many of you think you would like to be involved in the coffee house tent? I see one hand. See, look how brave she is. She's the younger member of the crowd. She's got her hand up. So anyway, we'll see how that flies. If you end up playing by yourself out there in the tent and nobody else does it this year, we'll probably can it. But if we get 2 or 3 people out there at a given time that want to do some of their material, and if you want to go out and support them and cheer them on, sit in the grass and, make like a little mini festival in the tent, that's fine. We'll have fun. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If it does, we'll run it again next time. All right, John, come on up and tell them about level 1 and 2 guitar, would you please? John Lowell.
All right. Yeah, like Mike was saying, he's teaching 3 and 4. I'm doing 1 and 2. Last week, we concentrated initially on the Nashville numbering system. And if you're in my class and you don't know what that is, you will. But it's a really, really good foundation of learning how to jam with people. It's just a communication system that has been worked up that, here's a 1-4-5 progression in G. But here's 1-4-5 in C. So we'll figure out why 1, 4, and 5 in C is different than 1, 4, and 5 in G, or E, or B, or any other key. We're going to work on a lot of foundation stuff, playing rhythm, holding your pick. And we'll also, we're just going to play it by ear depending on who's in the class, but hopefully we can get to some solos and learning Carter style stuff like. Picking melodies out while you're playing the rhythm, which is really handy for accompanying yourself. And we may do some single string stuff like something like that. So, but most of all, we're going to have fun and sit out in the sun and with a shade. So, all right, thanks.
We have 2 mandolin teachers this week. Both are going to be teaching, like I said, level 2, 3, kind of intermediate level. We don't really have a beginning mandolin this week. They're going to get up here and tell you how they're going to differ those in terms of the style of stuff they'll be teaching. We'll start with Nick, coming in from, you're new to the camp this year. We'll welcome Nick Nubis right here.
Thank you. It's great to be here. Such beautiful setting outside. It's nice to be back in the mountain country. I'm living in Wisconsin now, but I'm originally from Seattle, so this feels like home. It's nice. Yeah, so I have a pretty big bluegrass background. I've been playing bluegrass most of my life, so I'll be covering a lot of the bluegrass stuff for the mandolin. I've got a couple original tunes I'm planning on teaching, and a couple old school tunes, maybe a B-flat tune. But I also would like to talk about like crafting a solo. Like say if you're going in for a recording, or if you want to talk about, we'll talk a little bit about improvisation like in a jam session. Take a traditional bluegrass song, find the straight melody of it, and then work around that, find scale licks and different things you can do to throw in that aren't that terribly hard, but sound more impressive than it actually is to execute. And maybe we'll talk about some slow songs, like maybe put some nice breathing tremolos in on an old waltz or a slower two-step and such like that. And rhythm, another thing is one I want to go over is rhythm. There's a lot of different grooves and rhythm techniques you can go over and to make a song just surge dynamically. And I feel like you can do a lot of that just with rhythm alone on top of leads and solos. And also some fundamental things as well. Pick direction is a big one. Having correct pick direction is key for playing faster. You can't really play faster without having your pick direction in check. And a lot of these songs, some of the songs I'm going to be teaching might have a couple different little hiccups in there where your pick direction is crucial to keep the song going and flowing the right way. And as well as, we'll check out tone and keeping relaxed is the biggest thing. You don't want to give your instrument the death grip while you're playing. It's very easy to do. So we'll talk about stuff like that, and I'm always open to questions or anything on the spot as well, and happy to help with anything I can that you're curious about. But I'll play one of the original tunes that I'll be teaching. This one's called Fish Caught a Bird. Thank you, folks. It's going to be a fun week.
Well, we're very fortunate living where we live here, because when we were unable to tap our Canadian friends, which we often have probably a third of our instructors coming down from Canada, we just went south and tapped our Colorado talent. So we have a deep pool to draw from down there as well. So Greg Shockett, come on up. He's also going to teach mandolin at second and third level.
Actually, thank you. Class is canceled. We're all taking Nick's class. Done. No, super happy to be here for the first time at camp, first camp in a couple years, and it feels great already. So fun. So since Nick has got the bluegrass super covered, I'm going to lean more towards swing and blues side of mandolin. Yeah, man. So like, for example, where Nick just played that beautiful major key sounding song, we might move more in that direction. So we'll talk a lot about chords and a lot about rhythm. So if you're here, you got your chop chords and your major chords, we'll get you to where you can get to here and get those blues flavors in there, seventh chords. We'll talk some swing chords too, basic three-finger stuff where instead of just always getting that, you can get a little bit of a lot simpler than it sounds also. As Aaron was talking about, swing can sound and look and feel intimidating. A lot of that is a preconception that isn't really true. It's really a form of folk music too, and early swing and western swing and blues and country is all a big mush of folk music, really. It's not some exponentially more complicated or higher level of music like I had thought at one point in my life too. So we'll learn some blues. We'll get out of G. We'll look at some like closed chord vocabulary that you can move all around and play in different keys. We'll jam a lot together. We'll learn some blues that's super useful for playing tunes other than bluegrass. If you play with folks who play popular music or rock or anything, a lot of it's built on blues and blues form. So we'll get into E, and we'll get, again, if your mandolin playing sounds more like, maybe we'll get you a little more like. We can get some blues going. We can get some. We can get some of that kind of stuff. We'll touch on some Western swing classics, and got a couple tunes up my sleeve. I don't want to teach a ton of tunes either. I want to give you stuff you can take out to the jam, but we'll learn a couple cool tunes that are maybe not necessarily swing tunes, but on that cool border of hillbilly and fiddle tunes, something maybe like. All right, see you out there.
Where's Jen? Jen Daly, you here? She here? Jen? Not in here? Well, I was going to give her credit. Years ago, Jen showed up with her cello. Jen Sladen, sorry. There she is. Oh, right there. How many years ago? 15? 15 years ago. We'll grab a number out of the air. She showed up with her cello, and people were like, what's that thing doing at Camp? And because she's a creative, open-minded individual, she started messing around with backing up fiddle tunes and playing fiddle tunes and doing rhythm chops, and, well, it's just grown from there. I mean, to top her, we've had to go to highly trained, folks. And we've had some great cello players here. We got another one this year, also from our Colorado talent pool. We have a talent agency down in Colorado that makes these recommendations to us. No. Dan's from Fort Collins, Colorado. I'm going to put this over in front of him so he doesn't have to move. You want to stand? Oh, you got it. All right. Well, I didn't see your strap like Joy's she's cooler than you. Okay. Well, anyway, make Dan Delaney welcome on the cello.
Thanks. I'm Daniel. I'm from Colorado. Where are my cellists? Okay. All right. A small handful. All right. Well, we're going to get ourselves into trouble. The cello's been backing up fiddle tunes for hundreds of years. Did y'all know that? Not as much in the States, but we're changing that. But especially in Britain, the cello and fiddle duo was a great dance combo, and pretty standard, actually. So what I want to do is possibly learn a couple of tunes. I got a couple Irish tunes prepared, maybe some old time, and kind of look at crossing traditions a little bit. How do we back up this tune or that other tune in different genres? And how can we get our rhythm working? We might do a chop workshop later, but I probably won't do that in actual class. But I think we'll probably work on learning tunes and putting some arrangements together so we can kind of get a sense for what are all the possibilities. This is a really powerful instrument. You can play melody in most tunes, unless you're playing an A all night.
Don't look at me.
Yeah. That jam session last night was in a very unfriendly key. But we have lots we can do, so I want to explore that with y'all. But I really want to see where you are. It kind of needs to depend on you. We just have the one cello class. So I think I'm on the bill for levels 2 through 4. So wherever you plot, we're gonna work. But we probably will push. So if you need a little extra help, grab me on the side and we'll get together. But I'll play an Irish tune. It's one of my favorite Irish tunes, and I'll probably play something old-timey too. this tune, I'm going to sit down to play this tune. Do I need to be on the mic, Bill?
No, you're good.
Okay, cool. So this is called Killarney Boys O' Pleasure. I mean, yeah, as much fuss and muss as possible.
Yeah, that's good.
Great, great. Yeah, that'll do. No, that'll do. That's fine. That's fine.
Play the other one?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, we have to.
Yeah. Well, John, you play this.
Have to see if I'm on the right side. There I am. All right. Yeah, I'm going to put a big piece of duct tape on here just so we can keep that straight. All right. We have one more instructor to introduce to you. I do want to mention, though, in case you've probably figured this out already, but we have people like Isaac Callender. We have Taylor Buckley. We have all kinds of talent who's not on the instructor list this year wandering around. There he is, back there drinking. What are you drinking this hour? Oh, okay. Sparkling water, okay. Anyway, in addition to the build instructors in camp, we have all this talent wandering around. And most of them not only play whatever the main instrument is they do, but they also play pretty much a little bit of everything else. So anytime you're struggling, if you're sitting there under a shade tree trying to get a chord right or a melody right, you're likely to get an impromptu drop-in session from somebody that says, would you like a little help with that? And you probably ought to say yes and let them work with you, because most of these folks who are not on the instructor list have been at one time or another. And so, Rosie, hey, how you doing? Speaking of high talent in camp here who've been an instructor, there sits another one. So feel free, feel ready to accept all the spontaneous interaction you get with other folks too. So, all right, so our final, who also plays multiple instruments, and last week taught fiddle, and this week's going to teach clawhammer banjo, Natalie Padilla. Come on up, Natalie.
Thanks. Well, I'm also a Canadian replacement here. Yes, exactly. We all wish Chris Cool could be here because he's amazing. I've played with him a bit, and anyways, but I'll teach you as much as I possibly can about the clawhammer banjo. I myself learned at this very camp, 8 years ago or so, and it's just a really fun instrument We will primarily have a lot of fun in my class because it's banjo. And depending on what you all want to learn, we can do traditional tunes. We can learn how to play over songs. I was thinking we might learn this new tune that John turned on to me called the Stump-Tailed Dog, because I happen to have a stump-tailed dog. Looks like a cool tune. So we also kind of might learn a tune together and see what the process is how do you take a fiddle tune and put it on the banjo, because sometimes you can't play all of the notes and there's kind of replacements. Or we might even play things like waltzes. Here's like a little simple arrangement I like of The Blackest Crow, which is a really nice old-timey waltz. Oh boy, we might even learn how to tune banjos, but I'm still working on that myself, so I don't know. We spend a lot of time doing that. All right. Make you listen to any more of that. But I'm sorry, I'm your only option this week. But I know. It was in tune when I bought it, but yeah, I don't know. It's broken. Yeah, maybe Sarah can help me with that. I have a couple other announcements about workshops, etc. Is that okay now? In the afternoon, Maddie and I are going to be teaching a vocal workshop. And there's going to be a lot of singing.
Yes, come prepared to sing. You're not going to just sit there.
Yeah, and we're going to work on a lot of tenor and baritone, 3-part singing, probably on a lot of traditional choruses that you know and love. And bring your instrument, right?
Yeah, I was thinking if it's open to all of you guys, all different instruments. I was thinking if you brought your instrument, some people, since they're more familiar maybe with their instrument than they are their voice, if you can't find your part by listening, maybe you could find it by kind of plucking along on your instrument. So bring your instrument. If you don't need it to help you find a part, then that's great. As my mom says, better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So
it's true.
Bring your instrument.
Yeah. We don't know yet. I think all the locations will be written up on that board over there. It'll be the afternoon, 3:30 to 4:30, I believe. Every day, except for Wednesday. Here comes our second announcement.
Yes.
Last week, we did the first annual non-traditional fiddle contest.
Yes.
And
we need to come up with a name for it. A non-traditional.
Terrible.
No, whoa. Get out.
Terrible in a good way. Come on.
Yeah.
And without spoiling too much, anyone is welcome to enter. We might even enter people for you. But you're just be prepared to show up and have a really good time and do weird things with your instrument that you don't know you're going to do till right before you get on stage.
Yeah. So should we tell them how it works, or
yeah,
just,
you can.
Yeah. So we'll draw names out of it. We'll draw your names out of a hat, and to see who goes first. And then when you come up here, you will draw a task out of another hat, and so you will have to play a song of your choice. You can pick your own song, but you will have to play it maybe standing on one foot.
Such as let's hear like a one-finger tune. Can you do one?
What? I didn't sign up though.
I'll do it too.
Oh, we both?
Yeah, some in D. It's
In
even
D?
out of tune already. It's perfect.
Play something that's not in D.
Well, like Angela and Baker. Didn't we just hear that? So one finger.
Yeah. There'll be plenty of that.
Yeah.
And prizes, which we will not tell you what the prizes are.
Super secret prizes. Are they good? Do we have good prizes?
They'll have to wait and see. Last week there were a top 5 prizes. Yeah, yeah, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lauren Carr, is she here again this week? I think
Yeah.
so. Anyways,
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun time. So that'll be on
Wednesday afternoon at that 3:30 to 4:30 slot.
Yes.
In here. Right here, there'll be a microphone and everything and an audience and.
Yes. It's a fun time.
Oh, yeah.
We did have a really great time last week. And even those that crashed and burned on their tasks, I think had a fun time.
Yeah. Fred Buckley made it to the finals, y'all.
Yeah.
He had to work for it too.
Yes. Well, that's all we have. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
I have one other just totally non-camp. If anyone has a Sonicare toothbrush charger I could borrow, come see me. Mine is almost dead and I don't have one. Okay, sorry. Thanks.
If worse comes to worse, Natalie, you know, you can actually move the head of the brush. Yeah, the original cordless. Yes, as Mike said. All right, we're going to bring Louise up we have two last quick announcements, and we're going to let you get out of those chairs. Come on up, Louise, and tell them about your contest.
Right, we saved the best for last, right? I'm just joking. So, some of you might know that I'm a world champion corn shucker. It's true. I was a bit nervous last week if I was gonna be able to shuck faster than everyone else, and I achieved that. Anyway, we're gonna have another corn shucking contest this week. If you come and enter, you will get one of these lovely stickers for participating. We're gonna have, it's gonna be Thursday at 4 o'clock, so cut your Thursday afternoon workshops a little short, so you can come over. We're gonna have a few divisions, depending on how much corn we have, a boys division, a girls division, and then an adult division. And whoever wins the adult division gets to shuck against me. Who's ready to try to beat me? Yeah.
Are you doing one finger shucking?
No, you can use both hands, and the idea is we have hopefully 6 cobs of corn each, and then whoever shucks all 6 corns the fastest, get all the green stuff off, is the winner. So you should, well, if you can eat it, it's all right. And then don't spend too much time. And then, is there anything else? We had a lot of fun last week doing that. We're gonna meet over here on that side of the kitchen Thursday at 4 o'clock, corn shucking. So come watch, come join in, get a sticker. Try to beat me, we'll see. It's a good time. And Nick said he'd play some shucking the corn. Yeah. You gonna play on banjo? All right, so come play in the band or come shuck. See you and we'll eat the corn for dinner.
All right. And first prize for that is bragging rights, especially if you end up beating Louise. That'll be something to talk about. All right, one last thing. Those chairs you're sitting in, you are allowed to take them out of here to take to your classes, or if you take them to jam, that's fine. One requirement, you have to bring them back. If you took it out, bring it back. Just that simple. Because otherwise you end up making the table crew have to go on a hunt, and that's a time waster, an energy waster. All right? We try to keep camp fun, but there are obviously a few rules you got to follow to keep things civilized. So, all right, that's all we try to minimize that as much. We try to be as uncivilized as possible, really, is what it comes down to. So,